There was a time when what we were eating was never really a problem. We often ate at home. In fact, all the time we ate at home the food that was cooked with fresh ingredients, the quality of which we never really worried about. We never worried about pesticides or what was going into making those ingredients that finally went into our food. There was zero access to processed food, for example. Processed meats, for example, has become popular very recently. Up until a few years ago, we had little information about Western food, little access to Western food. And something changed completely. The way we lived our lives changed completely. Eating at restaurants, remember, as kids was a once in a blue moon affair. Nowadays, within a few seconds, you can order restaurant food wherever you are, literally wherever, whichever part of the world you are in. Within a few minutes, you'll have food delivered at your doorstep. Wouldn't you think that there would be an implication of all of this on our health? Certainly, yes. Very often than not, we are forced to ask ourselves this question. What are we eating? Is it good enough for us? And what should we not be eating? Health 360 this week has collaborated with India Today magazine to tell you all about the right kind of food that you should be putting into your system. This is the ultimate guide to eating right. I'm Sneha Murdani. What is it that comes to your mind first when you think about cooking? Well, I would think it would be the medium of cooking. What is the oil that you're using? How good is that oil? Now, if you are somebody who's been using refined oil which has been bleached, or chemicals have been added in that oil to make it refined, or if you are somebody who's in a habit of using hydrogenated oils, then this report is going to be telling you and clearing all your doubts about why India has just got so many people dying of cardiovascular diseases. This report is going to tell you all about oils, the good ones and the bad ones. Oil has the deepest connection to your health. Well, it is the medium of oil that you cook in determines how healthy you will be. Oils, when used correctly, promote overall health and wellness. Data on some of these oils that we're going to be talking about is conflicting, but we will tell you all about them nevertheless, especially in the context of Indian cooking. First, what really is considered good for you? Now, a lot of us would be thinking that ghee isn't, but the fact is that ghee or clarified butter is the best kind of fat that you can use. It contains high concentrations of monosaturated omega-3s. These healthy fatty acids support a healthy heart and cardiovascular system. Mustard oil, that reduces cholesterol and improves the membrane structure of red blood cells. Groundnut oil, unrefined groundnut oil has a high concentration of unsaturated fatty acids, a high smoking point, and is good for cardiovascular conditions. Sesame oil, although sesame oil contains heart-healthy omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, too much oil can lead to weight gain. Olive oil, monosaturated fats are also quite resistant to high heat, making even extra virgin olive oil a healthy choice for cooking. Extra virgin oil is considered the best kind because it is in its purest form. Extra virgin oil is the least processed form of olive oil. Due to this, it retains its natural antioxidants and vitamins which are often lost during processing. Let's now talk about coconut oil. Well, coconut oil is high in saturated fat, which the American Heart Association says can raise your cholesterol levels and your risk of heart disease. But it is being touted, in India at least, as a healthy option. It's popularly used in India, especially the southern part of India. Some research says it may encourage fat burning. Also, it may work as a quick source of energy. Some research also talks about the fact that it's great because it has antimicrobial effects. It may help reduce hunger. It also may help reduce seizures, is what is being said. It may boost skin health. We know that coconut oil has many benefits and uses as far as skincare is concerned. It may also protect against hair damage. It may improve oral health. A lot of people do oil pulling. Coconut oil as a mouthwash has been used in India. However, if you include coconut oil in your diet, it's best to do so in moderation. Refined oil used so widely in India is not healthy. High smoke point. The smoke point is the temperature that indicates the safe temperature of the oil. Low smoke point oils are ideal for low heat cooking and vice versa. Several unrefined oils have a high smoke point like coconut oil, groundnut oil, while many have a lower smoke point like olive oil. The fatty acids in oil should be in a balanced proportion. That's something you should be keeping an eye on. Free of additives and preservatives. Make sure the oil is free of any additives and preservatives. They degrade the quality of oil and have an adverse impact on your health. Refined oils, most of them, have these to improve their appearance, the stability and shelf life, but they're reducing yours. The Indian cooking method or any cooking method is all about the highs and lows of heat and temperature. A type of cooking method depends on the food being cooked, and that's when people usually forget about the suitability of cooking oil. Not all oils are suited for high and dry heat cooking. Hydrogenated oils found in junk foods, packaged foods are terrible for health. Hydrogenated oil is a type of fat that food manufacturers use to keep foods fresher for longer. It's a process, hydrogenation essentially, where manufacturers add hydrogen to a liquid fat such as vegetable oil to turn it into a solid fat at room temperature. So exactly you know which are the foods to avoid and which of the foods will be having this oil. What also you must be keeping an eye on, and this is a much debated topic, is about reusing cooking oil. And that really isn't the best thing to do. When oil is reused for cooking, a high concentration of toxic chemicals such as aldehydes is released. The food cooked in reheated oil increases the LDL levels, which is bad cholesterol in the body, which leads to increased risk of getting a stroke or chest pain. Consumption of reused oil has harmful effects on the body as it increases the level of enzymes in the blood, which is indicative of liver damage. So before eating out, think about the number of times the oil would have been reused, especially in fried food items. I would totally avoid it. India is a country which has got no dearth. There is just so much more variety of fruits and vegetables that are grown here. Grains and legumes in plenty, just so many options. So down the lane, where did we really go wrong with our diet? What really is wrong with the Indian diet? Experts say a lot. To begin with, are we having a balanced diet? Just open up your lunchbox and you'll know. Take a look at this report. India is the diabetic capital of the world. The burden of diabetes is rapidly increasing. 72.96 million cases of diabetes in the adult population isn't a matter to be overlooked. For a nation that boasts of a variety of lentils, fresh fruits, vegetables as a part of its diet, where exactly did we falter? Growing inclination towards Western foods, loaded in carbs and trans fats, is what is making us sick. Excessive consumption of carbohydrates has ensured that our population has developed chronic metabolic syndrome. Here's what's wrong with a diet. 70% of our diet calories come from consuming carbs, sugar, flour-based products, snacks loaded with starch, bread and white rice.
Our Indian diet are a very good sources of carbohydrates, or in the local language, like we say, is our anaj. That is a very good source in our Indian diets. So that is the main concern for which our other nutrients like our proteins or your minerals or our vitamins that we receive from our pulse, vegetables or fruits, they are a little deficit in our diet. Because our diet is a very high sources of carbohydrates, the increase in our energy levels or the caloric content of a diet is on a higher side.
An average Indian consumes 15 teaspoons of sugar. Indians are consuming 3 to 4 times more sugar than they should. Healthy as they may sound, but wheat is under the spotlight for the wrong reasons. Loaded with gluten, wheat is believed to be the root cause of Indian gastro diseases. It's a type of protein that may affect the immune system in the body, can cause bloating. Prolonged consumption may lead to acidity, can lead to gluten allergy, may cause irregular bowel syndrome. Lack of protein along with excess carbohydrates in our diet plays a major role in making us sick. If you are a vegetarian or a vegan, you must keep a track of your protein intake. As recommended dietary amount by doctors, one must consume 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Sources of protein in non-vegetarian food is chicken, eggs and fish. Also, sources of protein in vegetarian food is pulses, tofu, paneer, milk and beans.
We add protein sources in each and every meal possible with a very cautious thought in the mind, and see that you add whatever forms you are liking the proteins to be added, be it in form of your curds or your buttermilk, or be it in form of your paneer or soya beans. See that there is a source of protein which is added to your diet, right, to make it a efficient and protein based diet.
The key nutrients of a balanced diet include right amount of protein, carbs, vitamins, essential fatty acids and minerals. The Indian Dietary Association say we lack 84% of our basic protein requirements. In New Delhi with Kaustamoni Bashya, Bureau Report, India Today. Let's now talk about the three musketeers of nutrition. Confused about how much fats, proteins and carbs should you be consuming on a daily basis? This report will tell you. Fundamentals of a diet. Let's talk about the three musketeers of food: fats, carbs and proteins. Let's talk about fats first. The most efficient source of energy, with each gram of fat containing 9 calories compared to 4 each for carbs and proteins. So which foods provide fats? And not all are bad. Some are also good. Let's differentiate between them first. Fats are of four kinds. Saturated fats found in beef, pork, poultry, full-fat dairy items, eggs and in coconut and palm oils. Trans fats, naturally occurring trans fats, are produced in the gut of some animals. Artificial ones are made in an industrial process. Monosaturated fats found in olive, canola, peanut and sunflower oils, avocados and peanut butter. Also, polyunsaturated fats found in fatty fish, walnuts, flax seeds, tofu, soya bean, rich source of omega-3 and omega-6, the best kind. What should you be consuming? So recommended amount is 25 to 30% calories must come from unsaturated fats. 5 to 6 from saturated trans fats should be totally avoided. Let's now talk about carbohydrates, carbs. They are in fact what provide power, essentially breaking down into simple sugars once ingested. Once the level of sugar rises in the blood, the pancreas secretes a hormone called insulin, which moves the sugar to the cells for storage. What foods are carbs really found in? Carbs are of two kinds. Simple carbs can be naturally found in fruit and milk, or they're added as refined sugar, the kind you should be avoiding. And complex carbs, whole grains like brown rice, pasta, millets and some legumes. Recommended amount, carbs must make up about 45 to 65% of one's total calorie intake. Let's now talk about proteins, which are essential for the structure, function and regulation of the body. Where can they really be found in our food items? Animal meat, seafood, eggs and milk products are considered complete proteins. Legumes and lentils provide proteins but not some amino acids and are thus called second-class proteins. Recommended amount, minimum 0.8 gram per kilogram of body weight every single day.